no more. No more do-overs. No more drills. No more training. No more waiting.
There's only you, me, and this ball.
Time to play like a champion. There's only one.
There's only one Oklahoma.
It's time. This is what I wanted at the beginning of this season. I didn't expect a national championship because I knew other teams were playing so much better than we are at the moment. But I wanted to be in that last Big 12 championship. I wanted to be a part of that. And now that's a reality. Because as the dust settles, OU is going to be the Big 12 South representative. And we're going to take on our age-old, old-time Big 8 rival, Nebraska, for all the marbles. Because back in the day, it was between Oklahoma and Nebraska for the Big 8. I mean, Kansas State would make their runs every now and then. Colorado would make their runs every now and then. But mostly, it was Oklahoma and Nebraska. And then we took all the Texas teams into the Big 12, into the Big 8, and formed the Big 12. And the rest, as they say, is history. And now it's all just topsy-turvy. It's all bad. I mean, you guys can tell it's tainting itself. This rivalry was already dying down by the fact that we couldn't play each other every year because we were separated in divisions. I mean, I did a story about that my junior year of college at OU when Nebraska came to play at home in 2008. I went around and asked fans, what do you think about this rivalry? What do you think about this rivalry? And most of the students I talked to said, no, it's not a big rivalry anymore. I mean, it's Texas or bust. I mean, it's not anymore. But then again, I talked to some older OU alumni, and that they said that they were disappointed with the way the rivalry was because they said, back in my day, it was the game. It was the game. The game of the century. The birth of Sooner Magic. The 2000 miracle game that spurred OU onto its national championship. 76, 78. You can go back decades, and this game has been relevant for that long. But now, this will be the last meeting for God knows how long. I mean, reportedly, we've got a home-and-home with them for 2020, 2021, but I'm sitting here as an OU fan going, you mean the next time I get to watch us play Nebraska, I'll be 32? Are you kidding me? Onikuno will be almost 40, so ha. But, guys, this is a rivalry that doesn't need to go this way. But sadly it is. And now OU is in a unique situation because now OU represents sort of the Big 12's champions, sort of the team that's going to go in there for all the teams that are staying in the Big 12. OU represents that faction. Nebraska represents the faction of, well, we're fed up with you. To be quite honest, we never really liked you. We just pretended, and now we're all ticked off. So now we're going to go to the Big 10, which is going to be the new Big 12. And I think Nebraska's going to have a very good run up there in the Big 10. I think they could take on teams like Michigan and Ohio State, especially if their defense stays this way. And if they get good recruits up there, I think they'll make good runs in the Big 10, which will be the new Big 12, but will be the Big 12, but will have 10 teams. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, guys, this rivalry doesn't need to go this way. It really doesn't. But it is a fitting end. It is a fitting end, and I can't believe I'm saying end. But it's true. And like Onikuno said, it's sad to think that 5-10 years from now, no one will even know about this. There will be generations who will be born that never knew that OU and Nebraska were rivals, that never knew about this. And I'm speaking as a guy who wasn't alive during all those years back then. I just heard about it. I just watched film of it. I'm more like a historian of that more than anything because I didn't witness it. I've only seen the recent matchups. And guys, it sucks because great things that embodies college football is the rivalries. The rivalries. OU Texas. I guess OU Oklahoma State, even though it's so lopsided, I wouldn't even call it a rivalry. But OU and Nebraska, the North versus the South, the two colossal teams from the Big Eight, just butting heads. And they would go to each other's stadium, and they would, one team would win, but the fans would say to each other, don't worry about it. We'll see you in the championship, which would happen more often than not. But guys, this is where it's going to be. Big 12 championship. OU, we're pretty familiar with Big 12 championships. So we've been here. We know what's going on. Last year we took a year off. We decided to pursue other things. Thought we'd go hang out with Stanford, see how that turned out. But in the end, we found out there's really just no replacement for the Big 12 championship. So we're back. We decided we wanted to go back this year, and we did. And here we go. OU Nebraska. One more bout. Let's see who's going to take home that last trophy. Will it be the team who will stay with the Big 12 next year? Will that team keep the crown here, or will it be the team that will take the trophy and run to the Big 10? Who's it going to be? Because that's what OU represents now. OU represents Texas and A&M and Tech and Oklahoma State and Baylor and Iowa State and Kansas and Missouri. OU represents all the teams that are staying in the Big 12. And Nebraska represents them and Colorado, which I don't think Nebraska fans should be all that proud of, but whatever. Anyway, guys, this is looking to be a titanic matchup. Now, for what some people are saying, let's go ahead and go over the game. For what some people are saying, it's going to be Nebraska's defense that wins this game. But I'm sure Nebraska fans and commentators, they'll be the first to tell you that, we've got such a good defense. It's like Ndamukong Suh never left. And to me, I say BS, because there's no way you lose a player like Suh and not feel it. Because Nebraska's not without its blemishes. They sure as heck know how to lose to Texas at home, while we know how to beat Texas at a neutral field. But whatever. I think, personally, I think in that game, Nebraska was just caught up too much in the whole revenge factor. The 1 second will get you. And, I think they just got caught up in that. But no, I'm not saying their defense is crap. Their defense is insanely talented. I mean, we've seen that. They've got so much talent on defense. But this game isn't going to come down to defense, because, our defense, for as young as we are, we're pretty daggone good. We held the #1 scoring offense to hundreds of yards below their average. I say we're pretty good. Now, it's probable that Taylor Martinez will play for Nebraska, and I think Bob Stoops has officially said that DeMarco Murray is playing for us, which, thank God. But if Taylor Martinez plays, then the defense is simple. Stop the run, because you're either going to have Taylor Martinez rush or Roy Hillow Jr., which is another talented running back. He'll rush too. You got to stop that. And OU has done that in games against Baylor and a game against Oklahoma State. They stopped the running game very well. And I hear their leading receiver, Niles Paul, is out. I hear they've got a receiver who's the pitcher on the baseball team. Okay. So Tony Jefferson, you know who to hit hard, because baseball players don't take those kind of hits. It's going to come down to whose offense performs better. And for me, I got to give that edge to Oklahoma. I don't think Nebraska has as talented an offense as Oklahoma's. Now, any team can beat anyone. Any offense can show up on any given day. But I look at OU's Big Three, beat Oklahoma State's Big Three. They've gotten the job done this year. I'm looking for Landry Jones, Ryan Broyles, and DeMarco Murray to really step up. But then you've got all the smaller options, like Cameron Kenny, who's really emerged, James Hanna, who's emerged, Roy Finch, Trent Rattery, all these smaller guys, Trey Millard, who aren't the big names, but they'll get you. They'll get you. I think Oklahoma's going to win this game by a touchdown. Now, of course, I'm biased. Look. I mean, look. Yes, that way. Look that way. Of course I'm biased, but I honestly think OU's offense is going to take it to them in the second half. Now, I think this is going to be a close game. For the majority of the game, I think it's going to be strike, stop. I think there's going to be a lot of defensive stops in the beginning before either offense starts clicking. We'll see which offense starts clicking early, because that could be the key. Guys, here we go. OU, Nebraska. One more bout for that last Big 12 crown. As always, Boomer Sooner, Raw Oklahoma, fight for OKU, and you are not the Big Red Nebraska. There's only one Big Red in this conference. That's Oklahoma. So, we'll see you on the field, Huskers. Huskers. Sounds a little awkward. See you guys later.